What is going on, guys? Basco Show here. Welcome back to a Shadow Legends video. Today I have a guide on how to defeat the final boss in the new city of Cintranos, the cursed city, the new content that Platinum released. I'm trying to make a budget team using 4 fusions and 1 epic, but you don't need to use this specific champion. You can use champions that have a similar role, like you might swap Nishak for Mitrala and just focus on poisons. Or you might want to use, for example, let's just say you don't have Oella, but you have Twanarak. Just use Twanarak. You can use this champion here if you want to have more protection. So there are a lot of champions that you can use, but the most important role I think is Contra, guys, and I'm gonna tell you right now why. So this passive basically says decrease enemy accuracy by 10 for each diva they under, and also decrease the damage this champion receives by 4% for every debuff that the attacker has. So that means, let's just say with Nisha we managed to put like 10 bombs, Contra's gonna get a 40% reduced damage. Also I have it at 4-star, so the A1 is not gonna do 100%, your defense is gonna only be a 70%. And also when the boss loses the debuff, so the poison, the bombs or whatever, you get this HP back. So it's a bit like a sort of like a healing. So this passive makes it very good as a target for the A1 of the boss in the Eclipse form. And then we're gonna also prioritize most of the time this skill to steal the buff from the boss. Unfortunately, I don't have books on this one, so otherwise it would be a 60% chance with each hit. And then sometimes we might use this, but not very often, guys. You want to make sure that the boss doesn't have block buff when it's gonna go back to the base form. It's very important. I'm gonna show you why. And you also have an accuracy aura on all battle by 60. So I set up Contra to have the least HP. I think I have 55,000. Let me double check. Yeah, 55,000. I think Venom Edge has just a little bit over. Yeah, almost 1,000 over. That's it. So let me get back part on into the team. I'm gonna show you the run and I'm gonna talk about the main principle that you have to respect, and I'm gonna tell you which thing you need to avoid to not get wiped. Okay, let's jump into the run. Alright, guys, we are into the fight, and the first things you need to check is which form the boss is currently at. So right now the only way to understand which form is currently on is if you check the skill set at the top, but that might be a bit confusing. Another thing I can tell you is that when you change form, the LUNAR at the back change color, so it's like a eclipse color, so that's why it's on the other form. And when you come back to this form, you're gonna have a clear moon. So when you see the clear moon, that means this is the base form, the one that deal less damage, and it's the form where you have to be careful when to put the debuff on him. Okay, so my first tip is check current form of the buff all the time and make sure that this skill here is always on a high turn cooldown when you want to put the buff. So for buff, that means you can put buff, any kind of buff on your champion, but when it's a 2 or 1 turn, don't put those buff that can be turned into the -1. Don't put it, because as soon as it jumps to the reform, it's gonna transform it, and if you transform increase defense to decrease defense, it's gonna just wipe out your team. But I'm not using increase defense in this team. Now, in order to proc the A3, we need to place one of those debuff that he can turn. So decrease attack is a debuff that can be turned into increase attack, and he also needs to have I think 2 or 3 more debuff. Okay, so now I got 4 debuff, and one of them is decrease attack, so he's gonna use this skill all the time, and you want him to start with this skill. It's very, very important, because after he does this skill, we can place the heal reduction, so it's not gonna heal. So now we're just gonna do the 1. Then with that, we're just gonna do the 1. It's very tricky to use Contra 2, and now we're gonna place the block debuff, so we're not gonna get the stuns. Okay, and now we're gonna extend those buff, because I wanna bring those buff when it's gonna go to the other form. This buff, if we change them to the negative form, it's okay. We can clean them with Python, or we don't care anyway, because they're not very annoying debuff for us, the block buff or the decrease resistance. We can live with those debuff. So now I'm gonna use just the 1, and now I'm gonna put the heal reductions. Very important, because with this skill, this boss can heal like by 1 million sometime. So it's very important that you don't have that. Now the boss is gonna attack us. Okay, we're just gonna do the one now. So keep an eye on this. See, it's 2 turns. That means we can't put buff on ourselves, like those buff that I mentioned before. Okay, strengthen, don't put it. Increase defense, don't put it, because they're gonna turn into weaken and decrease defense, and then you might lose. So we're gonna just do that. And now I'm not gonna put the decrease attack. I can do that, but I'm not gonna do it because I want the boss to strike me hard enough. So it's gonna proc duella passi that put the continuous heal on us. So for this reason, I'm not gonna put decrease attack. Now the boss is gonna attack. I see a couple of my champions got the continuous heals. So now I'm gonna place this. Very important, you have to place this, because if we put the increase resistance, you're gonna force the boss to use the A3 on the other form. So force the boss to use A3 when he change forms all the time. So he wants to use this skill when he get to the base form, on the first turn that he gets to this form, and then when he goes to the other form, the alternate form, very soon, he has to use the A3. And the only way he does this is if you have certain buff on your team, the one that can be transformed. So increase resistance is gonna get transformed in decrease resistance. So we're just gonna do a 1 now, and we're gonna actually place the decrease attack now. It's very important. Okay, we got resisted there. A bit annoying, but it's okay. And now we're just gonna do the 1 here, and we're not gonna use this yet because we don't need to heal, so we're just gonna do the 1. So the boss is gonna change and he should use the A3. See, now we're all gonna go to sleep. I can't compete with that, but here we go. Now we got a turn. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is, see how this buff says 2 turn. This is the buff that's gonna tell you when it's gonna go back to the other form. So it's 2 turns. And you can see from the moon now that this is the alternate form, because see how the eclipse at the background. So it's very important that you know where you are if you can understand this skill set here. So now we are in this form. We have to force the boss to use the A3 when he changes to the other form in 2 turns. So how we do that? We need to place decrease attack and decrease defense. So if we do this right now, let's see, yes, it's gonna use this key, because see how they are on a 2-turn cooldown. So basically they're gonna be carried over to the next form. It is very, very important to do that. The boss has to use the A3, otherwise it's gonna heal by millions if you use the A2. And this form, you don't need continuous heal on this form, because the boss doesn't really heal much on this form. So now I'm gonna heal up my team just like this, and I'm just gonna use the 1. It's very important that you don't use the A2 when this thing is on 2-turn cooldown, because if you put block buff on him, it's gonna transform it into block debuff, and then you can't place the heal reduction. So don't do this mistake. Now I'm gonna put more debuff, so it's gonna do less damage, because now it's gonna use the 1. And for some reason he targeted the wrong champion. So okay, now see the boss attack Kantra. Kantra survived because of her passive that decreased the damage. He had the decreased attack the boss, so it didn't cop much damage because of that. Now the boss is about to transform, and how we gonna make sure that the boss is gonna use the 3 is if he has 1 or 2 debuff that can be swapped to the buff value. So this decreased attack is gonna be increased attack, this decreased defense is gonna be increased defense, and also you need to have a couple of more debuff as well. It can only be a decrease attack. I've seen it when I only place decrease attack, he used the A2 and he heals by 1,000,000. So now we're just gonna do a 1 now. Initially we're just gonna do the 1. With there we're gonna just use the 1. This form doesn't need heal reduction, it doesn't heal as much, so just use the 1. With there we're gonna heal up, why not. And now very important that you put the block debuff, because the boss is gonna change to the other form and he's gonna use this skill that stuns you as well. Okay, so very, very important that you use the block debuff. And now we're gonna use the one to try to strip those buff. We failed, but that's okay. Now we're gonna put more bombs and we're gonna put the decrease attack. The boss is not gonna hit us very hard, but we actually failed the decrease attack as well. Anyway, now we're gonna place the heal reduction because he can't clean the heal reduction. See, this skill is on cooldown, and now it's gonna heal up by 1,000,000. But because we got the heal reduction, it's not gonna do that. And now we're gonna use the one from here. Okay, we got hit hard, but lucky because we got the passive from Oella, so we managed to land some continuous heal. So now we're just gonna recover. We're gonna use the A1s here. Let's try to strip those buff, but we keep like missing the chances. And we have no room for decrease attack right now, so we're just gonna do the one. But this, in this form, the boss doesn't hit very, very hard, so that's very important. So now let's go back to this rule here. Force the boss to use A3 when he change form. He's about to change form because see here, it's a 1. So we're gonna put this buff here, and now it's gonna use the A3. Okay, didn't use the A3. He went for the A1 because he knew that he was gonna kill my champion. So because I didn't strip and I didn't land the decrease attack, I got wiped. But I'm gonna go back to where I was right now and I'm gonna keep going from there. Alright, we are back again. The boss just changed form and he uses the A3 because I put him decrease attack and decrease defense. So now we got this buff here that we need to strip, that we need to use Contra. Because of that, we can use the heal reduction right here. And now, can we strip him? Let's see. Okay, we managed to strip him. Beautiful. Now, we have to place the decrease attack. Let's have a look. 2, 4, 8. Okay, we got 9 debuff. Perfect. Hopefully we don't get the 2%. Okay, we got the decrease attack. That's what we want. So this usually happen like, you know, most of the time. I've been unlucky with the number of the debuffs, some resistance and Contra that didn't strip the boss. So now it's gonna transform into tone. So we're gonna try and keep some of our buff on in order to make sure that when it goes to the other form, it's gonna use the 3. Okay, so we're gonna use this A1. We don't need the decrease attack actually, or we might keep it. We might use the next turn because it's still on a 2 turn. I'm gonna try land it with it. Let's see if we can land the decrease attack. No, we get the weaken though. And now we're just gonna do the 1 here. Okay, so now in this turn the boss is gonna swap forward. So we're gonna put buff on us. Very important you put buff, and but not this one because this is just gonna be a wasted. So we're gonna just do the 1 here, and we're actually gonna put actually no, I can't put decrease attack right now because I need to put it like just before it goes to the other form. So I'm gonna use the 1. I'm gonna use it with Nisha. I'm pretty sure Nisha has the skill available. So here we go. We're gonna use this, and now we're gonna put the decrease attack. Okay, perfect. So and we are, should we heal up? Oh no, actually yes, we need to, because we need to make sure a Python gets very close to take a turn, because now it's gonna sleep, right? So it's gonna skip his turn, but because of that boost, you know, it's gonna be kind of like faster than the boss, and it's gonna take a boss before the boss does something. So now A1, we are very close to defeating the boss. It's all about the smite, I'm pretty sure. So I'm gonna talk about it at the end of the video. So we're gonna do the 1 here. Now it's gonna transform into the other form in 2 turns. So here he's gonna do a 1, and because he has decreased defense, he might die. So we're gonna just heal up. Oh my god, I think I proc a mastery or something. I didn't even check if I got the mastery. I'm gonna talk about it at the end of the video. And now we need to make sure that if he has to die on the other form, so because he's going to the other form in 2 turns, we're gonna also place the decreased defense. Here we go. Contra tank this without any issue. and we're just gonna do the one now. A1, very important, you don't place any more debuff because it's gonna transform them. Remember that. It's one turn, as you can see how from the Eclipse buff. And now we're gonna actually do this because we can resist when he does the stripping on the other form. Not the stripping, sorry, the stun. We can resist the stun eventually. We're gonna do the one. And we're gonna keep this one, the heal reduction for Lera. And just the one with Kantra. And with him just, I guess we can use the bomb if you want to. Yeah, let's do the bombs. Hopefully he doesn't die from the bomb though. Okay, didn't die, and now he swapped form and he died right now. So here how we beat this boss, guys. I know it was a bit confusing because I had to restart the file like, you know, 3 times just because of the decreased attack and the counter that didn't strip. I really hope it was kind of clear. I'm gonna mention a few other things that you need to make sure that your champion don't have, and that's the mastery. You gotta avoid this mastery here, Cycle of Magic. I didn't realize my partner had it on. This one can mess up the run completely, okay? I could have get one shot and then it would have been over. So if you don't have this, you're not gonna get any RNG. So avoid decreased cooldown effect. So that means artifact like reflex, skills that do that, masteries, and all the damn thing that do this, guys. Avoid that if you don't wanna have RNG. I didn't do it, so let's just say I would have, like, you know, lose that. I would have just restart again and do it again. I'd rather do that than waste 150 gems. Because we're gonna only fight this boss once a month, and we might not be able to use those champion next month. So unless Plario does a free reset on the mastery, I'm not gonna do it. Even when I did my other run, the first run with Twanarak, my Twanarak had this mastery, and sometimes I procced and I failed, so I did it again. Eventually I managed to defeat the boss. I'm gonna show you the builds in a minute. I just want to talk about Smite. So Smite in this run did a massive job because he was dealing like maybe, I don't know, 5% of the boss health or maybe 10%, and he's guaranteed with 6 Ablaze. So if you have for example this champion right here, you can build it with accuracy. Even at 1 star, it's okay, just build it with accuracy. You don't need resistance for these dungeons at the moment, okay? I haven't think about resistance yet. I still need to figure out how much resistance, how much accuracy this boss has. So maybe I'm gonna come up with the resistance strategy one day, but now just go accuracy on him if you have them. If you're legendary, put accuracy and put a 1-star brimstone, okay? And eventually, slowly, you're gonna take the boss down with the brimstone. But Nisha does tons of damage with the poison as well. So poison and bombs, they do damage. It's not gonna be like I did, you know, like 80 turn clear. It's gonna be way higher, but you still can do it. The only thing is that Nisha work really well with Kantra because you're gonna put a lot of debuffs, so Kantra is gonna be more tanky, right? So I don't have much to say about this. Unfortunately, I can't remove my 6-star blessing on Nishak. Otherwise, I would have tried and use him. I got one is unbooked, and have you seen? Sometimes I don't even land the 100% decrease attack. Imagine without a book one. So the other tip is the champion with lowest speed will be targeted and needs awakening in order to reduce the ignore defense with the awakenings. So set up a champion, give him the lowest HP, but also give him very high defense so you can tank those hits. Obviously the Python passive will help, mastery will help. So trying to get someone else in Guardian set, for example, so you can decrease 10% of the damage that this champion will get. So it's very, very important that you set up someone, okay? I found Kantra to be one of the best, and hopefully you did Fuser when it was available. So talking about gear, I had to change some pieces because I was using it in Hydra. I just need to increase the accuracy. I believe you need 450 from this boss. So if you have an aura, you can even reduce that to, like, you know, 400 plus the aura will go to 460. And then I try to get as close to like 5,000 defense and 55,000 HP is the lowest on my champions. And speed wise, try to be around 250. Obviously some champion you can do higher than that, some champion it's fine if you have them a bit slower. I didn't have issue going fast because I was using Oella skill that boosted turn meter. So if you use Oella, build her like you know, fast, because she's the champion that can run at these speeds pretty much to help you with a lot of dungeons. And yeah, just look after her HP, make sure she has more HP than Kantra, and the other stats don't really worry. If you want to use her with Brimstone and you have low stars, just go with 450 or you know, 400 plus the aura. And she's amazing because she bring the buff that can be transformed into the negative one, and that's gonna be, you know, we're gonna force the boss to use the A3 on the alternate form. This is very important. And then this massive heal plus the increased durational buff is massive, and sometimes help you out recovery with this passive where you put continuous heal by a turn. So Oella, she's very good. Yeah, one of my favorite fusion of all time. For Venom Mage, guys, is another MVP. She plays the heal reduction plus the poisons, and she also have a passive that reduces the damage when an enemy is under reduction. So very, very, very strong. And then she can put decrease attack and decrease defense in the window where the boss is gonna transform to the base form. So here again, how we gonna make sure we force the boss to use the 3 is with this skill. So basically this skill and this skill from Hela, you need to use them when you know that the boss is one turn to transform into the other form. So they kind of like the MVP on my team. Mastery, I don't even know if they are super important. Like I said, just avoid the Circle of Magic. I didn't even finish the tier 6, so I didn't touch the mastery, guys. I just put my champions inside and I managed to do it. Let's talk about Nishak. So Nishak, I use it to farm my dungeon. So he's in boss set for regeneration. I use him to do solo runs, so that's why I got this set. He doesn't have super high attack, as you can see here. He only has 3000 attack. He has high HP because you need to be over counter HP, and also good defense. And then you need to have, you know, very close to 400. So I think I had 440. Maybe that's why I got resisted a few times. But you know, it still work. And mastery, we have this one here to get more accuracy. And yeah, avoid Circle of Magic again. And he's the MVP as well, because obviously the poison, the bombs, the decreased attack, they're gonna ensure that on the first turn the boss uses the A3. And then Brimstone 6-star, guys, is 100%. Every time the boss uses skill, he does what it is. Oh wow, it's 25%, but I think the boss get a cap by still a lot of damage. And then lastly, Python is there to make sure that before the boss use the A3 on the base form, the one that plays the stun, you place this the turn earlier. And this skill is gonna make sure you don't get stunned, so your champion can do the skill, especially Venom Mage, guys, because after the skill is gonna use the massive heal that is over 1 million. So you need to put heal reduction on her, so Venom Mage can't get stunned. If you get stunned, she missed the turn, you don't place the heal reduction, the boss go back to like almost half health or full health. And then obviously a 1, they heal a lot. For the speed of my Pado, I made it to be the slowest on my team, 230. But then with the boost of Oella, it kind of helped him out to keep up with the speed of the boss. So it's not like a crazy build. I don't use him much, not even in arena. So 230 speed, that's work for me. I just got him like a 1 piece of stone skin. Do some run tests and see if when those turn when the boss is gonna use the 3 with the stance, he's gonna be on a good spot to place the block debuff. Okay, you have to use it the turn before the stun land, not on the turn. You don't want to try and clean. You can maybe sim out to have high resistance, so it's gonna resist the stance and then it's gonna clean the whole thing. But I don't know, I think it's gonna be maybe harder to build a team like that. I'm not sure. I don't even know how much resistance you need, to be honest. So I know my Mitrala can resist with this much resistance, is what, 850. So I don't know if you need like 700 resistance to resist the boss. And mastery, I have this one here. We actually get this one, so we're gonna help Contra to receive less damage. That's very important. If you have someone else in Guardian set, guys, just put him in Guardian set and avoid this mastery, okay? I had him and it almost cost me. I almost lost the fight. So guys, I think that's it for this video. Let me know if you guys have any question. I'm not gonna be here reading all this. I'm not gonna read all this. It's gonna be too long. It's gonna be too confusing. I really hope you guys understand, and I really hope you are gonna find these tips that I put on the side useful, because you know, you need to understand what forms are you fighting. So if you know what form are you fighting, you know which skill the boss is gonna use, and then you have to force the boss to use always the H3 when he changes forms, and avoid the decreased cooldown effects, and have a champion that has the lowest HP with the most stars awakening, so you can reduce the damage that you receive, and hopefully it's gonna survive, and the boss is not gonna use the H3 like, you know, infinite times, because that's what happens. The first champion that dies, then you get the sleeps, and then someone else die, and then you get the sleep, so you're just gonna get wiped. Please leave a like if you enjoy this content. I'm gonna probably do another guide using different champions. Let me know if you guys are struggling. Let me know if you need help. I'm happy to give you some feedbacks. So drop a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you soon with another video. Peace.